All right, I'll be right there.
You're fired, Brian.
You are pathetic. That's why I'm jumping your ass. I got me a real man now.
What you doing, man? They told me I had 2 more weeks, man.
How much I owe, man?
$300. $300?
Tell you what, the next job I get, I ain't gonna humble myself for nobody.
I swear before God. You know what? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to use the Lord's name in vain, but I just need the chance.
Let me be the first to welcome you to the Postal Service. You're officially mail carrier.
Now you look like a postman.
Okay, all right.
All I gotta do now is teach you how to deliver mail. Hey, man, I'm ready, baby.
Hey, Mr. Postman, I like them shorts. You got my mama mail?
You're fired.
No, I ain't got your mama mail.
Hey, man, who are y'all?
That's
The
why I'm
OMG girl?
jumping your ass.
You are new mail,
I got
Yes,
me.
indeed, I am, son.
Man, you look stupid.
What you doing?
Hey,
man?
boss,
They told me I had 2 more weeks, man.
How much I owe?
$300.
Tell you what, the next job
Damn
I get,
hip-hop.
I ain't gonna humble myself for nobody.
Now get some respect here. I want y'all out of here on time for once.
You know what? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to use the
Damn,
Lord's
Ricky.
name in vain.
If you need more dog spray, come
Let
see
me be
me.
the first to welcome you to the Postal Service. You're officially
This is
Brian
mail
Lincoln
carrier.
at your service.
now you
so
look
very
like a
petty.
postman. All I gotta do now is teach you how to deliver mail.
Properly
Hey, man, I'm
introduce
ready, baby.
myself. My name is Mac. I
Hey,
run
Mr.
everything over here
Postman, I like them
and over there.
shorts. You got my mama mail?
No, I ain't got your mama mail.
Hey, man, who are y'all? The
Let's
OMG
turn to the book.
Yes, indeed, I am, son.
Hey, boss,
Ron's starting to get mad.
2 strikes now. One more again.
Double check.
Not today, Tyrone. Come in a couple weeks, buddy.
Damn, Ricky.
If you need more dog
First to welcome you to the Postal Service. You're officially
This is
Brian Lincoln at your service.
now you
so
look like
very
a postman.
petty.
All I gotta do now is teach you how to deliver mail.
Properly
Hey, man, I'm
introduce
ready,
myself.
baby.
My name
Well, now, what do you think about that? That was pretty interesting. Well, good afternoon. It's
First
a
of
wonderful
all,
Sunday
It
here.
is for a change.
Yeah, so what's going on with Lady D and Sir John? We are in the house with Mr. Mike Berry. I mean, it's just awesome. And Mike is here. He's going to tell us about some things that he's doing. He's just been so busy. And without
Especially
further
about your
ado,
new adventure here that's coming up.
yeah.
Hey, Mr. Postman.
All right, Mr. Postman.
Mr.
And we were watching some of the clippings of the trailer of Mr. Postman.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so Mike, let's take it away. Tell our audience, if you don't know who Mike Berry is, we're going to let him tell you a little bit because it's so much to Mike Berry. All right, we're going to give it all to him, but tell him, Mike.
My name is Mike Berry. You know me. I'm a filmmaker. I'm an author. A motivational speaker. In a nutshell, you know what I'm saying? In a nutshell, that's what I do.
Well, don't be bashful about it because you've been busy. You're a wonderful motivator. You are an author. And this new project that you've taken on, the movie, Mr. Postman, tell us about how did you come up with this?
Hey, Mr. Postman was actually, man, a friend of mine, Brian Berry, no relation. When I was shooting my last movie, Banger, he was hanging around the set. And you mind if I hang around? Yeah, it's all good. So after it was over, he was just like, man, I want to make a movie. And he's like, man, I'm going to get my money together, and I'm going to come to you when I get my money together. So he came to me, had his money together. He's like, I got a script. It's called Hey, Mr. Postman. I read it.
Okay.
I liked it. And I was like, man, you should let me produce and direct that. And he was like, yeah. And then we made it happen.
Got busy.
Yep.
How long did it actually take you all to put this movie together?
The shooting part is easy. Like, you know, we shoot in like 15 days, like the whole movie.
Really?
Yeah, 15 days. Then you just edit it together. 15 days, yeah.
How long does it take for you to get recruit the cast and audition?
Well, you know we was fast on this project. We didn't even have a rehearsal for this project. We didn't have time.
Really?
Yeah, we cast it, and we're shooting in probably about 3 weeks. Like 3 weeks to a month. We was casting and shooting, and we brought in some LA talent that we had recruited. Omar Gooden, Paula J. Parker, comedian Rodney Perry, AJ Johnson from Friday. And I mean, that's where the directing had to come in because we didn't have no practice, not one.
Wow.
So it was once that camera was up, we had to make it happen.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you.
One shot, one killed it.
Huh?
It's like one shot, one killed it.
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes,
That is so interesting. So what's the difference between putting that movie together and Banger?
Same process. Banger, I had way more time.
Okay.
The process was different. But the same, it's the same grind. You got to overcome obstacles, problems, things that sounded good when you first wrote it, or things like that. Locations that looked good until you. Now with all this equipment, you be like, this don't look so hot, so let's do this. So it's a lot of improv, a lot of changing. You got to be quick on your feet. So, without that rehearsal time, this was challenging because the actors weren't there. So we had to get them there quick.
Okay.
And so it turned out to be pretty good.
Excellent.
Location. What did you shoot at? Mostly?
Cleveland, no, we shot. We got maybe 13, 14 locations everywhere from B&M's barbecue, car washes. Really? Yeah, we shot it at Pastor's Church. We shot at maybe 5 or 6 different houses, and then we had a whole street that we had sectioned off, and that was the route. This was his route.
Okay.
And so the whole movie is basically, in a nutshell, right job, wrong route.
Mm-hmm.
You got the church lady, you got the gay guy, you got the bully, you got all on one route. So he got that route. You know what I'm saying? But it's an underlying story. But basically, he has that route. So we had 13 different locations. We was all over the place with this movie.
That was interesting because I looked at a house. I was like, hey, that house looked familiar.
Over there on Tarkington.
Yeah.
Tarkington was the street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Highview. We shot on Highview, off Lee Road.
Okay, yeah,
up
because
there by
those
Carouge
houses,
Park.
one of the houses, I was like, that looked like a house here in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, because I wasn't sure if it was actually here or was it, in Georgia.
Mm-hmm. No, it was here.
It was actually here. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And when is the movie coming out?
June 9th.
Okay.
June 9th, red carpet premiere, AMC Solon.
Okay.
3 p.m. Red carpet walk starts at 1:30. We will sell out. We probably halfway through the tickets now. It's only been a month.
Okay.
So, yeah, definitely excited
And
about
how
that.
do our audience get their tickets?
You can go to heymrpostman.com, heymrpostman.com, or you can call me direct, 216-322-4747.
Excellent.
I do door service.
Okay, you deliver, huh?
Yeah, I deliver.
You're the mailman.
Yeah, I'm the mail. That's right. $20 per ticket.
Okay.
$20 per ticket. So it's gonna be a great time. It's gonna be a great look for indie film. It's a great look for Cleveland. And for us to become the next Atlanta, we have to show them that we can sell out these type of events. That it's actually people who want to see indie movie. You know what I mean? So.
Right. And that was where I wanted to go next, because the last time you were here, you had a overreaching goal for this area.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's still there.
Mm-hmm. Well, my goal, man, is to turn Cleveland into a hub like in Atlanta. But to do that, we got to unify a lot of the collective talent, and we got to work together, man. If you go to Atlanta, and I don't care if it's rap or R&B, they work together. Mm-hmm. And if we don't work together, it's not going to happen because we don't have the resources, the network, the connections that Atlanta has. You can go to Atlanta and stumble into a Steven Spielberg type or a Janet Jackson type or whatever it is. Cleveland, they not like that. So we all we got. So we got, if you talented and I'm talented, let's work together and get there instead of you trying to get there just so I can work for you. That mentality, that's not going to work.
Right.
In LA,
Collaboration.
we got to collaborate.
Mm-hmm.
You got to.
Teamwork is so important. Stop being so I, me,
Yep.
you, and spread the wealth. And because we have a lot of great talent here. Mm-hmm. And that's what I love to see, because it seems like every year someone else is being exposed. Someone else, whether it's a musician or artist, a book writer. We have so much going on here, and I love it. And this is what my show is really all about, is to give you a platform so people can see what you're doing, and get out and support one another. And hopefully, you can see someone on our show that you can team up with, and share your ideas and create something. Let's create and build. The C for Cleveland is for creation. I like that, and I want to see more of it done. Tell me, so Do you plan on continuing to really get into this movie thing and take your director position to another level?
Oh yeah. You know, I'm on a much bigger level than I
'Cause I know
started.
you're on a roll.
Yeah, I started, 5 years. This is my 5th feature film in 6
Okay.
years. So I'm a lot bigger than where I was as a director.
Okay.
Not just monetarily, but just as a director, and I'm still learning and still growing and still trying to prove myself. I mean, I can make the phone ring here or there. I got connections and contacts, but I still got to keep grinding. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So and still, I want to do it from here, from Cleveland.
Okay.
I go to Atlanta. But I'm from Cleveland. It's a lot of directors. I won't say their names, but they popular. But y'all wouldn't know they was from Cleveland because they never say that.
Wow.
They put LA on their titles. I don't like that, but it is what it is, and I understand why, because LA is a huge market.
Right.
And it's just a business decision. Like people will go out to LA and get an LA address just to put LA on
Okay.
they'll get
Right.
an LA on their paperwork, on their
Right.
mail it here. Oh wow, you live in LA, yeah. People they will do it. You know what I'm saying? Because to some
Interesting.
people, oh you stay in LA, oh you stay in Cleveland, ain't nothing happening in Cleveland. So people will go get
The branding.
they will get a LA PO box, an LA phone number, all that.
Interesting.
Say, yeah, mail it to my address. Oh, you in LA? Yeah. And they stay in Shaker Heights somewhere. It's just the business, though. It's funny like that, So,
So in other words, they get treated differently.
yeah,
then.
yeah.
Is
yeah.
it paid differently too?
Well,
you
in
sit
a-
down and negotiate.
Well, it's good and bad because in a good way, it's so many people in LA. Everybody not eating. So
Right.
I actually, like my sound man, I flew him from LA. I had used a couple different ones because they tripping over each other in LA. He caught a plane to come here and was cheaper than any sound man here.
Wow.
And he was from LA, done worked on dozens of sets, but he's like everybody doing audio in LA.
Okay.
So I need the money.
Right.
And I was like, wow, got on a plane, came and worked cheaper than anybody I could hire here with quality,
Right.
with good equipment. He had this good equipment. Yeah, and he was
There's so many
professional.
people out there.
Yeah, he said
So
so
many.
many.
It's so
Competition.
competitive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And people are like you say, they don't have jobs, and so they have to compete.
They got to compete.
Well, it's the largest state population wise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
mean,
and
it-
and it's the mecca of filmmaking.
Right.
It is the mecca of that.
80% of people
And
in
the
America
cost
live
of-
there.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Cost of living is extremely
Oh, my
high.
God,
yeah.
So
Competition.
yeah,
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 so-
yeah.
Yeah.
And so here, because we can live good for what they have out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So tell me, what is your next project? You have something else lined
Oh,
up?
yeah, I'm
for
already
us?
at it.
I know you're already
Yeah,
working.
so I'm about to pin a new movie called Freight, and it's basically about human trafficking. Like, this is my last comedy. I don't want to do comedy again.
Okay.
I'm a drama guy.
Okay.
Drama,
Okay.
suspense. I want to stay
Right.
there,
Okay.
And it's about human trafficking, where the backdrop is people are being human trafficking between car lots, like from here to Detroit to Chicago. You want something clean and quiet. You want a minivan. I want multiple kids. You want something I could take off road. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's you part of this club, and I'm gonna go buy me a car. You get the car, you get the kid. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
And so this one father is looking for his daughter, and he stumbles on to it, what's going on, but he can't prove it, but he stumbles on to it. Now he's trying to, because he know his daughter is in here,
In that cycle.
and in his cycle, you just got to figure out what's the connection with these car lots, and how is his daughter tied to this, that type of thing. Yeah, so it's called Freight. It's powerful. It's
I
strong.
like that. That sounds like a real
Yeah.
suspense.
Oh no, it's
a
great.
twist.
Very, very suspenseful. Yeah.
Yeah,
very
it sounds like a
suspenseful.
really good
Sounds very
twist.
Yeah.
Because there was this other movie that was I can't think who the actor was, but his daughter went over into another country, kidnapped, taken.
Yeah.
Okay. So would you say it's on the line? Of
No, I'm
taken?
not getting into the.
International.
Yeah, well, not just that, but I'm not telling this. I'm telling the story from an emotional level. I'm not
Okay.
showing them, giving them drugs or Johns. We know that's happening.
Right.
Right.
I want you to know how a father feels
How it feels.
trying to find, and how his daughter feels trying to be free. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't want to show. I want it to be like that, but
Okay.
still just as powerful without the fighting
Okay.
It's just like, man, it's crazy. He trying to get to her, and it's like a juxtapose where she want to get out, hates her father. I can't wait till you turn 18 so you can get the heck out. And now I want my damn daughter. I want my father. You see what I'm saying? And what
the whole emotional.
the emotional part of it. Yeah, like what she's willing to do, accept, or go through to be free.
Right.
If I fall apart in here, they're gonna put me on these drugs. So hey, what y'all need me to do?
Right. I stay clear.
Yeah, hey, what y'all need me to do? Because she wants to get to her. You feel me? Like I want to tell it from that standpoint.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
And how soon will that be coming?
Probably like next year. I want to shoot in the spring, put it out in the fall.
You're looking to have a project going
every
something
year.
for us every year.
Every single year.
Loving it.
Every year.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's exciting.
Yeah, every year.
You want
and then snowball it.
Yeah, you got to, people forget you quick.
Right.
Quick. So I try to just stay busy with my motivational series, with a big project. And, it's good for me. Like, I'm behind. I didn't get into this in my 20s, like I should have. Right. And so I don't have the time to be playing, so I just get to it, Right. I just get to it.
That's how you got to do it.
And, I hear you on another radio show, too, in the morning.
Oh, yeah, 107, 93.1 with Sam Silk every Monday.
Yeah.
Comes on about 10:30.
Yeah.
1 minute of motivation. Yeah,
Yes.
so that's good.
And that's excellent.
Yeah.
And I enjoy listening to and even watching you on Facebook and giving your motivation topics because it's something that we all can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
And believe it or not, people need to be motivated. We need to be motivated.
Yeah.
Because life is a cycle and it's constantly changing.
Mm-hmm.
We have our ups and downs and flows, and sometimes we need to be able to someone to help us get back on track.
Yeah.
And that one word or thought can do that.
Yeah, and that's why I do it, because I know I go through it. You know what I mean? Like I deal with depression. Been dealing with it 21 years. Told y'all about that. But sometimes, that positive self-talk works for me. So all I'm doing is putting my positive self-talk. Hey, this, you know what I mean? Because sometimes it's hard on me. Like I tell people, hey, sometimes I gotta listen to what I'm saying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes what I'm saying is not enough for this moment. I gotta sit down, relax, collect my thoughts, but I do understand that I got a purpose, a position, a path, all of that, and so I can't let whatever I'm going through with my depression deviate from that, because that's a calling.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. So I've been called, and I'm gonna be obedient to that. But I also know it's other people who don't understand that obedience or don't have the internal strength. Like if I'm having a bad day, it ain't gonna last me 2 weeks. But I know people, it'll sit them down. They can't work a job, so it's shut down. And so I try to inspire them, man, like we got to keep going regardless of any of that, so yeah, but I get it.
Have you ever thought about holding motivation sessions for people who are going through those times of depression?
I actually was going to, but then the movie came. Our release date was June, so I didn't want to compete with myself, you know what I mean? So I was like, I'll push that back. This is more important. But I try to speak. I spoke at 63 events last year.
Okay.
So I speak at, you know what I mean, like I done spoke
That's a lot.
Yeah, 'cause it's
500,
Your calendar is booked for speaking
I'm probably a good 12 or 13, 14 in this year. So, I done been to Ginn Academy, schools, radio, church.
Right.
So, because I believe that, like you said, people do need to hear it.
Right.
And I try to put it in a way, because I done been through it. Molested, prison, suicidal, and have still been able to find some measure of success. My rapping, I had 2 top 100 albums, top 100s, a top 20 single, tour with MTV, nominated for a Soul Train Award, a best-selling book, and 5 movies. And this all, at times, was suicidal. You understand what I'm saying? So I know that what you can handle. People are like, I can't handle it. No, I know what you can handle, because I've been literally, in that position, like 3, 2, damn, it's time to go to work. Can't do that. I got to go to work. You feel me? Like,
so
when I felt
is that what happens when you come up and you get really creative and you come out strong? Do you find yourself where you done somewhere done slip back?
Yeah, but sometimes, like with me, like, you know, dealing with depression, it ain't no, some things bring it on, sometimes nothing bring it on. It just come. I don't know where it come from.
Really?
It just,
Are you still struggling with
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Do you feel as though there's a cure?
There ain't no cure for
There's
depression.
no cure for depression?
No.
This is something you have to work
Okay.
through.
Depression can only be managed.
It's
Cannot
managed.
be cured. There's no such thing.
Because, you know, so
Now when
why-
people be like, you know, whatever, religion took it away. No, you just managing it extremely well.
With
Religion or whatever, but it is no cure.
it's no cure.
And
Well,
then
it's
it
part of where your brain is wired.
right,
So
and then it
it's
also depends on what was causing the depression. You went through a bad marriage.
Okay.
You get him out your system, you clean, versus a chemical imbalance.
Dependent.
That chemical imbalance will not correct itself. It's not just going one day. It don't work
the
that
way
way.
your body is made.
It's the way your body is made.
Yeah, because, you know, I had someone tell me once they was an addiction, addicted to a drug, that I said, well, now that you're clean and getting yourself clean, why would you still relate to you're still a drug user, you know, or was a drug user? And they say, well, you're always going to be that. It's just that you're not doing that anymore.
Like AA.
Yeah.
Yeah, you people be like people, guy told me, he said, man, why you always talking about depression? I said, well, what would it be like if nobody at AA was a sponsor and said, hi, I'm John, I'm a recovering alcoholic of 30 years. He quit
Right.
drinking 30 years, but he come to these AA meetings 3 times a week. So what if nobody testified? So the guy with 1 day in of sobriety, who he gonna go to? He need John. So, and as far as how I am dealing with my thing, some people won't speak about it no more. That's cool, but to me, for one, it's my testimony, it's my release, but also it's my helping of somebody with 1 day of misunderstanding of what am I going through? What is this?
Right.
They don't know. I
Right.
do.
Yeah.
And not a doctor way. I ain't a doctor, but
Right.
I understand where you come from.
and
because I've been
yeah, and let me
And
lead
let
you to a
know
doctor
that it's really okay
It's
to
okay.
talk
Yeah.
about this and
Yeah.
not shut down.
and not shut down.
But
Yeah.
it looks like a lot of these guys, younger generations, they understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, we just, this week or last week, we had Kevin Love talking about his depression and her anxiety. DeRosa the month before in Minnesota. It's more like they understand. It's not a thing of weakness or.
No, I got nothing to do
It
with
has
that.
nothing to do
Look
with
what I done did.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Look
saying?
what I done did. It's something that I have.
It's something that I
that
have.
to cope.
Yeah, you
And manage.
you may feel depression, but you are not depression.
Right.
You aren't that. And then like I tell people a lot of times, people say, like Debbie Downers. Like I'm against anybody who would call somebody a Debbie Downer. The reason being, if you smile every day, why would I ask you, are you okay? Why would I? Why would I? So sometimes you gotta show your pain. Or why I would be like, man, Miss D always happy. She tore up inside. But why would I ask her, are you okay, if every day she
Right.
putting on the front?
Right.
So some days you gotta show it. And so people like, you cool? And that's all you wanted. Actually, I'm not.
Yeah.
And we off and rolling. But a lot of people, I don't want to hear that Debbie Downer. That's a cry out.
Right.
They can't, because if they were smiling every day, you wouldn't even ask them, do they need help?
That's true.
And so I tell people, man, you gotta take that mask off sometimes.
Yeah.
And then it is a such thing as a attention-seeking type of.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take this mask off every 30 seconds and cry in your arms. I can get where that could be depleting, but when somebody is crying out for something, you can't just say, "Oh, that's a Debbie Downer." She just. You can't tell nobody how they feeling.
Right.
Or how often to feel it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Just because
Yeah.
you strong. I got friends be like, man, gang, they call me gang. You should be over that. And I be like, why you say that? Because when I went through it, keyword, when you went through it, it's levels of leukemia, it's levels of cancer,
And it's levels of
depression. So everybody didn't kick 4th stage cancer.
Right.
Some people did and came back. You see me? So, trust me, if I could get rid of it, I would. Trust me. I'm better without it. You know what I'm saying? But until then, I just keep pushing. That's it.
Well, I really admire you, and I am a great supporter of the things that you do.
I appreciate it.
I just love I love following you, and tell us about, because you had a book, you had 3 series. Last time I had you on the show, you had this depression book and the movie, and how did that come out?
Well, I put the movie out last year. I had
Tell the audience the name of it.
Pressure.
Pressure.
Yeah, Pressure. I put out. I had a fundraiser, a dinner, and I showed the movie and raised money for which I gave the money away to other charities who deal with mental health.
How did that go for you?
Oh, it was great. I mean, I raised like 15 grand.
Okay.
And yeah, man, I had got, well, still am getting great interest. I thought I was gonna secure a deal with TV1, but they liked it. I mean, so I'm still pushing it. You know what I mean? But
which is good because you were talking about that and coming out before now.
Yeah.
It's one of the big topics people are talking about.
Oh yeah, and that's what they're like, man.
awareness now.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. But that it was something that I needed to do because I knew. It's funny because I tell people depression has been a part of my life so long that it's kind of like my salvation. Like it's part of my motivation. When I talk, it's always included. It's always included because I know for a fact in any room I go into, somebody in here is dealing with it. You come in here with your Gale manners and your Sunday best, I ain't fooled.
Right.
I ain't fooled. I ain't trying to make you be. I'm just keeping it 100. If it's 10 people sitting in this room, 2 of y'all is going through it. Now, we also know 90% of black men won't ever tell anybody. They just going to suffer through. So I really feel compelled to speak
to our brothers.
To my brothers.
And why do, that's fine, you need something to drink, Mike.
It's like somebody tickling in the back of my throat.
Why is it that our men hold that in?
Social stigma.
Does it make them feel less
Weak.
than a man? Or
It was what he was saying earlier. What we just said, social stigma that we were talking about. I think that's all. I think that's all part of the.
I got it.
That whole thing,
Okay.
that failed, Afro-American men fall into, which is unnecessary.
Yeah, that macho thing, you weak, you did,
Now, do we have a lot of male organizations where men can actually come out and be a part of?
Yeah, they probably do, but no men gonna go. That's the problem. Like, how do I explain? Like I said in my documentary, how do I tell some of the guys that I know? And back when I'm 20, we a lot more raucous and rowdy. So how do I tell some of the most roughest, toughest, macho men I know that I'm gonna cry for no reason sometimes? How do you do that? And so how does a alpha male, you know what I mean, tell another alpha male, and man, sometimes I just find myself crying, or sometimes I can't keep my feelings in check, and it's killing my relationships with my girlfriend. You know what I mean? And so it's easy to just be like, because to the outside world, I'm an alpha male. So they don't know, so they just be like, I ain't saying nothing.
And that's the point, making it easier to talk about. And part of talking about, I guess this social structure of, how we get along, communicate with each other, male, male, female, female, male to female, and back and forth. And making it easier. I think in the past, we had our church that was such a central focus of the community, and it was easier to go and talk to your pastor.
Right.
So you had somewhere where you can do that,
Right.
As a male. But then as that all broke down, and then of course you might have your grandparents when we had a whole. When that all broke down, you don't have it broke that down. So it broke down the avenues where, and I think a black male can go to talk to. My wife always tells me I'm lucky because I have both parents.
You're an anomaly.
Yeah. And, I had a father who was very engaged, and I think I was, because him being so engaged and so open that I could talk and say, I'm not feeling this way or that way, made it easier for me, that I know I had that outlet right there, no matter what, still do, and that's a key thing.
There was a Hebrew Israelite apostle.
Isn't that a double thing there?
Israelite, Hebrew
Ain't that the
Israelite.
same thing?
Yeah.
Never mind.
His name was Paul.
Right.
And what I like about Paul was that he's doing exactly what you're doing, Mike.
Mike.
He's doing exactly what you're doing, Mike. What he said was when he was going through this buffeting, this depression, this issue with this devil keep bashing his head with these thoughts, and he prayed about it and he got no answer, the answer finally came. God said, my grace is sufficient for you. And he caught it. He said, instead of hiding how I'm feeling
who I am.
and keeping it to myself, I'm just going to say I'm having some mental issues. I'm going through some things. And by him doing that, the grace of God, the power of Christ rested upon him. See, a lot of times we try to hide stuff.
Right.
And who are you hiding it from? Who are you hiding it from?
Yourself.
Exactly, because God knows. So just go ahead and admit it. I have a mental problem. Like Kevin Love is a great example.
That's what I was mentioning earlier.
So are you, Mike. Kevin Love said, hey, I'm having some mental issues. And look at all the outpouring of love that came his way. You know, it's sad that that young man killed that older man on Father's Day when he was going. I mean, he's sharing all his mental stuff. Anguish on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
I remember,
Godwin.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Mr. Godwin.
Yes,
And
over
he
on
killed
St.
Mr.
Clair.
Godwin.
Yes.
Because the murder was dealing with some real tough
Yes,
stuff.
right.
But he couldn't tell nobody. And then telling a telephone when you're about to kill somebody isn't enough. You just got to admit it. I learned this, man. When I start admitting my faults and admitting my sicknesses and things I go through, God's grace rests upon me. And when I am weak, he becomes strong in me. And that's what you're experiencing. You're experiencing a biblical principle. God wants you to admit. As a matter of fact, the Bible even tells you, admit your faults one to another. And I will forgive them.
Yeah.
And you will be healed. But you say, black brothers, we don't want to admit. We want to think like everything is going great, everything is going fine, when the enemy will use that to destroy you.
When everything is not going great.
Exactly.
And when everything is not
Right.
And then when things are not going well, then people have a tendency to self-inflict themselves with more hurtful things that really just tear them down versus it could be really just easy just being able to just get it out and say what it is that you want to say and not worry about did it come out right or did I use the proper English or just get it out. And it's good to be able to have someone that you can pick up the phone and talk to.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You have to bond, have someone that's going to be there for you no matter when, that you can talk to.
Exactly.
And it's okay.
It is absolutely okay. One of my favorite sitcoms was Billionaire. And here's this guy, billionaire, big hedge fund guy, whatever. He had issues, but he had a person,
a go-to person.
He's hired psychiatrist or whatever, who he would go to, and he could talk it out, and she would basically say, "Now, did you hear what you said?" He could answer his own dilemmas just by talking it out. Sharing it. He could admit he was a big-time billionaire.
That's a good show, too.
Yeah, it is. But he would admit to her. And every time he would do that, he'd get the answer. It's all in sharing.
Fundamentally, I think, how human beings...
Hey, talking to Mike, brother.
I think that's how fundamentally human beings are made.
Yeah.
To communicate. And to communicate to, whether it's to our Creator and to each other. If we do that more often, then you'll see that your problems are not are opportunities. I've always liked saying problems are opportunities because that's what my grandfather called them. He was like, well, you ain't got a problem, you got an opportunity.
Right. It's a situation that can have a change to
this
it.
problem.
Yes.
You can either sit there and let it run you over, or you could take the opportunity and see how it could help you.
Because my thing was always used to say, there is no such thing as bad. because everything is good. Because even when it seems like it may be bad,
And it can be bad.
and it could it could be bad, but that bad can turn out to be good
Yep.
because there's something for you to learn, you know, and you only repeat it if you didn't get it. Okay, and life is like that, you know. Yeah, I used to call it rock teacher. If you don't hit the right hand, you stay right there at that step. And then if you get the right one, then you get to move up and go to the next level.
Is that better?
And I think that's what life is. Life is about levels and progressing and elevating, you know, and being enlightened.
Oh, that's what. Yeah, that is what it is about.
Yes.
You know, reaching a certain level. I think every religion on the planet talks about that.
Yeah.
That's a common theme in all of them. You know, and if you once you get to understand that principle and work it into your life, it's not going to say every day is going to be sunshine, because every day is not going to be sunshine. It's going to rain. It's going to snow Monday. It's going to, do all that. But if you keep on looking for the opportunity, you keep on persevering, like you said, manage it, work through it. Your life gets better and better and better.
It will.
And don't forget not to enjoy it. Right, either or. I think, David's one of my favorite people in the Bible, and the only reason he is because the way he kept on going through it. Went through everything imaginable a human being can go through. But he persevered. Sometimes you argued with God. Sometimes you went over. But it's all about persevering. You see in his life, every time he persevered, each stage got better.
And Mike says something very powerful, and that is crying. There's nothing wrong with crying.
You gotta get it out.
One thing about crying, when it's all over, you feel relieved. And sometimes we need to just do that. They could be tears of joy.
Well, your emotions is the thermometer of your body.
Yes.
It's telling you a lot of things. How you feeling mentally, spiritually, and sometimes physically. Because it could say, hey, there's something here. There could be an
You got to get it out. When you get a good cry, sometimes you feel better.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean? Like, so just think somebody who just bottled up.
And then you can be clear.
So then, you stay bottled up, then you explode it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You lash out at somebody, fighting, violence, or whatever. You couldn't get it out.
Right.
So sometimes you just got to be like, man, listen, I'm just going to let it go.
Yeah. And something about, and another thing about letting it go, let it go. And don't go back to get it no more. Because a lot of times we do that even in prayer. I'm going to give it to God. And then you turn around and here you go trying to dip back in the situation again when you really need to let go and let God and trust and have that faith. Yes. So tell me, who is one of your biggest motivators? Who motivated you? Through your journey and the journeys that you're going through? Who is your go-to person?
It was different people at different times. You know what I mean? Like it was people I outgrew them. At one point in time, they served that purpose. My story or your story, anybody's story is, some people who was in the first chapter aren't always in the second chapter or the third chapter. But that don't mean they weren't important to my story. And so, there's been times in my life where the person who motivated me last year don't mean they don't motivate me this year. It's just that I know that their assignment has died down some, and now their motivation is now a remembrance. Like, I remember what John did for me.
Right.
But now I'm in the season of D for the motivation.
Right.
She's speaking to me. Now, what John did spoke to me, but he fulfilled that obligation, whether it took a year, 5 years, 8 years. But now, for some reason, it's you. You speaking to me on a deep visceral level. You know what I mean? So it's been local people. My stepfather. My stepfather was just a worker, man. He didn't. We never tossed the ball together, but his message was in the things he didn't say. It was in the things he did. He never said nothing. We never held a conversation.
Really?
We've been around since I was 5. We have never held a conversation of any, but we ain't have to. I heard him loud and clear. You know what I'm saying?
By his actions.
By his actions. He was home every night. He provided. He figured it out. But that wasn't his way. His way wasn't tossing the football. You feel me? So he's always been a big motivator. My mother has always believed in me. And like I said, it was different people at
Right.
different times that I watched. Like I was never motivated by Denzel Washington and people like that. I felt like I aspired to be, but I get more motivated by people on my level, like a Philly Whedon, a Phil Whedon. When I see somebody
and he is
come
motivating.
from where I like Denzel, I don't know where you come from. I heard where you come from on TV. I see, but somebody I was there. I seen it.
You guys
That's very
grind
motivating
together.
to me. I was at his first play. I remember it to this day. Like I'm in awe.
I remember
I'm
you
finna
guys
make a
at the
movie.
gym.
I made my first movie. I'm about to make me a movie.
Wow.
I remember sitting his thing like this crazy. It's like 400 people in here. Then we teamed up and did a movie.
But because you know what, I remember you and Phil when I met you guys at the gym.
At the gym, training. Yep.
I cater to you.
Yep.
You know, I
Or
was
like,
going
yeah.
that's where I met them guys at, and they were in there doing. Everybody had their own little thing they were doing. Phil be over in the corner, writing on his plays and stuff.
Yep.
You know, Mike, I think you were doing music.
I was doing music. Yep.
You know, and then we had Will.
Yeah,
Will, he was doing the same. All the guys there, they were so talented and they were so gifted.
Yeah.
You know, everybody got out and did their own things. What is Phil doing now?
What Phil is doing, he's huge on Philly is doing the plays, and Phil, the other twin, he's huge on the workout thing. He finna move to California.
Okay.
I mean, he was on Good Morning America, and I mean, he doing it like he
really stepped on up.
He's
crack.
He do the step aerobics. I mean, you see him in videos with Sean T and all.
That's
I mean, he next. Like on a major, anytime you get on Good Morning America, you talking about 23 million people watching, you winning.
Right.
You know something is coming.
That is
Right.
awesome.
Something is coming when they put you on Good Morning America.
Right.
Something is coming.
That's good.
You just got to hold on and get ready because it's coming.
That's awesome.
You know?
Receive.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the difference in Cleveland versus Atlanta and the movie projects and people that you're working with.
Well, it's just the mentality, man. Like, you know, and it's part of me too. Like, for example, I'm an independent filmmaker. No, I'm a filmmaker. You feel me? By calling myself an independent filmmaker, which I keep telling myself, stop that, or allowing you to call me, somehow says that I'm not as good a filmmaker as he is. Now, I might not be as seasoned or skilled as he is, but I'm still a filmmaker.
Okay.
I'm still a filmmaker. I don't care how you slice it. I got a body of work, you feel me? So the mentality you go to Atlanta, it's just full of filmmakers. They just be shooting. Everybody is down to grind. Everybody is down to get their skin in the game, put up their own, whatever they got to do. Cleveland, we just not there yet. Just think about it. When is the last time you heard somebody come from Cleveland on a monumental scale doing anything? You know, like a Gerald Levert.
Right.
When is the last time we had a Bone Thugs and Harmony? And when you don't have that, it makes everybody want to be the next one. But when you Atlanta and everybody, like the rap scene, you got G, you got 2 Chainz, you got this. So everybody is, so it's more like, hey, I can help you out and I can help him. But Cleveland, I just feel like everybody want to be that next guy. And I feel like if somebody get too close, if they could help them up, they might just be like, let me get up a little more, and then I come back and get you.
Well,
You feel me?
Well, we got Steve Harvey,
Yeah.
Cleveland.
Okay.
You got Arsenio Hall, Cleveland. I mean, you have a lot of different talent in Cleveland. Cleveland is, I think, the mecca of talent.
Nah, but see,
But they leave.
But they leave
Yeah,
and
they
don't
leave,
come
and they don't
back.
come back. They
and
don't
bring
come back.
anything
They
up.
don't, they don't
Yeah, they don't
roll
come
anyone
back.
with them. They,
Yeah, they don't
they
come
go
back.
and just keep
Yeah,
going.
yeah.
You know.
And
if
you
we
gotta come back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he hit it right on the head, man. They leave, and then they'll mention, like, when the last time you heard Drew Carey say anything about Cleveland?
It's been a while.
It's been a while. It's like you wouldn't even know. You'd be like, oh, Drew Carey from Cleveland? Most people probably don't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
When he was coming up and building up his brand, he kept on talking
Unless
about it.
you watch the show.
Yeah.
Well,
you
I
got
mean,
no
now
peace
that
in
he's
there,
he
you
got
know.
that whole Price of Right gig,
Yeah.
you don't hear it at all.
And I don't want to be like that.
Right.
Like, but I'm also a businessman. When I get to where I need to get to, I ain't coming back to get you because you my boy. You got to be skilled.
Okay.
If you ain't got the skill, I ain't doing it. Why you messing with dude over on the west side? Because he's skilled. You're not that good. You my boy, but you're not good.
Right.
And that happens.
Yeah,
People come
yeah.
back for their people, and they fail, And then they be like, I ain't going back no more. Let me just do what I'm doing.
It's happened.
Yeah, that has a lot of times. But it's business. Like, man, I'm gonna make sure you cool. But dude over there is ready. You not ready. He ready.
Right.
You talking about putting hundreds of $1,000s into somebody? He ready though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And people, especially musicians, they always do it. Go back and get their cousin who could sing a little bit.
Right.
And before you know it, they all crash and burn.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I should have just left you where you was at. But it'll happen for Cleveland, though, I think. But right now, you know, we don't have a clear-cut identity. We copy the swag of Atlanta. We copy the swag of New York and L.A. We don't have our definitive image yet. And it's just going to take a powerful individual, like a Jay-Z, to influence the culture of Cleveland and say, this is who we are. Like No Limit and all them did for the South. I mean, when it was not cool to be from the South because they rap with that Southern drawl. No Limit and them came and was like, oh, you mean I can talk like this here? I can rap, but come on, then. For real. And now don't nobody care.
Right.
I remember when it was, man, y'all sound country and stupid.
Because even the reality shows.
Yep.
You know, even those shows.
So we need a few stars in different veins. We need some actors. We need some singers. We need some film, you know, and then the eyes will be on us. And it'll be like,
a forum where all can pull together.
Yep. And when somebody really cracks it open, what happens is the eyes from L.A., New York start looking. Who else? Who else they got? Because that's how they do. And I tell people all the time, when they come, even if they come looking for Phil or Philly, best believe I'm going to have my car in the lane. I ain't got to coattail them or I'm going to have my car in the lane.
Right.
And that's all you got to do because they going to be like, who else they got here?
Right.
Because you mean they somebody signed Philly? Dang. Who else they got in Cleveland that's doing something? Go check this guy. And if you ain't that, then you know what I'm saying?
If you're not ready.
If you ain't ready, because that's how it happens, man. One section of the country will get hot, and it seems like everybody coming out of there. That's because the eyes be like, what else y'all got? What else y'all got? What else y'all got? Who else y'all got? And you just got to be ready. You know?
So you got to always stay on top of your
game.
You got
to stay on top of your game. You don't know
when
it's coming.
Reinventing yourself and keep it out there.
Or keep your brand out there.
Yeah, keep your brand out there,
because branding is so important.
You
know, people know you and they.
You got to stand on your brand.
Yeah.
Like you know, I try to tell people I can't do what I used to. You know, people be like, man, let's partner up, and I'll be like, man, you know, I got a brand to think about. You know what I'm saying? You're a cool guy, but you practicing. I'm practicing on another level.
Right.
I can't do that. It ain't. Don't take that personal, but I can't go way back there, and because now what's happening is I'm helping you. It's not a mutual thing. I'm helping you, but now I'm teaching you too, like in real life. But you know, so I got some people who I mentor, like let's, you know, they my dudes, but it's some like Russ Park. That's my mentor. He ain't about to hold my hand. He ain't got that time right now. Mike, come to Atlanta, sit on the set, learn. That's all you gotta tell me. I do the rest. And then it's gonna come a day when he gonna be like, TV1, he ready. He ready. He ready. Cause I know he like, Mike, you got it. But I know I don't got it to where he willing to go put his thing on the line.
Right,
But he's proven to me
right.
that I believe in you, Mike.
Right.
It's just that it don't work that way. He done told me you just need a little more on the resume. So come down here, do this, do that.
Keep learning.
And I already know one day I ain't gonna have to say, Russ, could you go? Mike.
He's going to say before you do.
Mike, can you come to Atlanta?
Right.
You know? Matter of fact, real short story, I get a phone call from Russ. Russ, call this number, Mike. I called. It's a guy from Dallas named Tony White. He's shooting a movie. Movie is a multi-million-dollar movie starring Martin Sheen, Alec Baldwin, Lamont Rucker, from, and they want me to direct.
Nice.
Now, these people, all I got under my credit really is Banger at the time. You feel me?
Okay.
And this on the strength of Russ. But then the powers that be was like, nah, he just ain't got enough on his credits for us to justify putting him, you know what I'm saying?
In that position.
But I was that close. That would have been that movie. That would have been the one. Now, I have never been on a set that big. Oh, best believe I was going to figure it out, though.
Right.
I was going to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? They don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm used to working with crews of like 5, cameraman, sound man, 3 grips. You know what I'm saying? So I'm asking the guy, I'm like, how many people on the set? Probably about 37. Okay, yeah, that's that'll work. That's cool. You feel me? Like, but in my head, I'm like, 37. What do I do with that? Then I keep telling myself, you direct, you do what you do. They know what they supposed to do.
Right.
You watch this TV, yell action, and everybody else gonna know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Anything you
direct
can't,
it.
you just direct it. So when I went to go see Saints and Sinners, they had 56 people on the crew, and I watched Russ, and then I knew this is definitely what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm doing this, what he doing right, just on a smaller scale. I never heard him tell the light man nothing. The light man knew what to do.
Wow.
I never heard him tell the sound man. I never heard him say anything to anybody. But we ready to shoot. Director's ready to shoot. Quiet on the set. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew. He would say, "This, what's the scene? Let's get it together." He'd say something like that. Lights going up, sounds going up. We ready, director. Director's ready to shoot. Let's go. You feel me? But I used to think like, no, we got to tweak this light. No, they got a professional lighting guy who know what it's supposed to look like. You see what I'm saying? But on this level, we wear all those hats.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? I don't know about no lighting. I'm getting by with it, but these guys was in there like.
So it's almost
so you
like
saw
how it really go.
Base scale, and now
Yeah. So it's good for me that I had to learn it all. But up there, you the sound man. If it ain't your time to work, you sitting like this. I ain't touching nothing if it ain't sound. You the lighting guy. If they don't want lighting, I'm gonna go smoke one. And drink some coffee. You feel me? Like you know, and that's how we need them sets. So I ain't got to wear 60 hats.
Right. Everybody knows their job.
It makes it efficient. It makes it efficient.
Keep things running smooth.
I mean, they even know. I guess the grip know when to go get you your
man.
your
They
coffee.
know it, yo. It's just down pat.
Everybody know what to do.
Man, listen. They would say that lady would say like, who was there? Vanessa Bell Calloway. She'll be like, "Is my makeup okay?" I swear to God, 50 makeup girls. Boom. You ain't have to look for them. I don't know where they came from. They just, where you come from?
Wow.
You know, and they was just there, touch her up, and then go back. You know, anything.
That's efficient stuff.
It was very efficient. I had never seen nothing like it. I ain't never seen nothing like it. I go hoarse on the set yelling. I never heard nobody raise their voice.
That is awesome.
I never heard nobody raise their voice. It was just
all professional.
All professional. Yep.
And this is all professional. They do it.
Now, but you know, nobody told a different story. They start from here.
Yeah.
And
they build their way up, and that's awesome.
Yeah. So it is what it is. Until then, I gotta wear hats. You know, I gotta wear more hats. That's it.
But wearing the different hats makes
apparently not that long. You're getting close.
I'm getting close.
Because wearing the different hats, and it's good to be able to wear those
and know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Because that makes your brand that even much more
appealing. Yeah.
Yeah, because you know the operations, the ins and outs of your thing.
Yeah. And you want to know your way around the set.
Yeah.
I like to be on the set. I'm looking at the light man, in which I was, and actually knew what he was doing. He was doing it good, but I
knew what he was doing.
He finna do this. I knew he was gonna do that. Cause I gotta do it.
Right.
I got $300 worth of lights. It looked like they had about 40,000 worth of lights.
Right.
They lit up a church, looked like broad daylight. It's pitch black outside. It looked like broad daylight. And they had the trucks outside. It was a real set. I was humbled. I was like, man, and I'm sitting there with all the directors with the headphones on, and wow, I was just like, man. But of all the things, when I got to the set, it was a chair. You know how the director's chairs look.
Right.
It's more. It's all the shot callers. And this one chair said Ty, and it said showrunner. So I'm thinking like slang showrunner. She run a show. So something just told me Google that. So I Googled showrunner. That is really a title. It's the person who runs the show. They're bigger than the director. I didn't think anybody was bigger than the director.
Oh, really?
The showrunner is kind of who the company,
the producers and all.
Yeah, make sure this is going right.
Right.
Don't step on the director, but if need be, you run this show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
And you were telling us before we started our show that other position.
Standards and practice.
Standards and practice.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Tell our audience about standards and practice.
It was really...
Y'all gonna learn something today.
Like standards and practice is basically an individual who watches the taping and they decide what's not conducive to going on TV, whether it's gonna make somebody feel some kind of way, it's too political, it's too religious, it's a curse word that they, you know what I mean? And so they sit there and they say, nope, take that out, change that word. It's pants sagging a little too low, to look gangbangish, whatever they deem. And
they critique everything.
Yeah. And they just be like, that won't make it on TV, or nah, not on our channel.
So like almost a Q&A.
Yeah, like they protected Nate's. Yeah, like they protected Nate brand. Because every ABC, they all got one.
Right.
So the ABC might be more risque with those nighttime shows, but Bounce TV, they had a way, and it's like, nah, this is we can't do that. They changed church words. I'm like, man, you gonna change a church word?
That's
you know
one heck of position.
Right.
And a career. I wonder what that pays.
Probably a lot.
Because you really have to be sharp.
Well, you got to know what your audience, ABC, and what they expect, what they'll tolerate.
Right.
And I'm sure it just came from years of just watching.
Yeah, mistakes.
TV. Yeah, mistakes, and be like, no, our fans don't want to see that.
Right.
They don't want
our viewership. This is what they look at.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very interesting.
It's pretty cool though. Like, like I was saying earlier before we started is, I think it would be great if Cleveland had larger sets so people can practice on.
Yeah.
And really but I run my set like that. Like, I actually brought back their paperwork. The call sheet. The call sheet is what you get in the morning, where to be, who's in it, what scenes we doing.
Right.
And mine's is like, this look like geometry. But I told my partner, this is how we got to do it. From now on, our call sheets need to look like this.
Right.
Because it's the second time I seen this call sheet. I seen it in California. It's way too much info. But after I looked at it, I understood it. Right. Oh, I get it. But ours need to look like this. So when our time come, we transition it right into the way it's done already anyway.
Right.
Exactly.
Because right now we got ours.
And the practices already been
all that. Yeah. And what's crazy is it's funny that because when we was making Hey Mr. Postman, the N-word got dropped, even though the N-word was never in the script. But we kind of let it go. And then, soon as I saw that, I was like, I knew it. But it was funny when he was saying it. It was flowing.
Right.
But now we got a movie that has 0 cuss words that got 72.
Okay.
So now we got to go back into the studio at some point. And it was a waste of time. You see what I'm saying? Like, if standards, you can't, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, we could have cleared that up. Because it wasn't even in the script.
Right.
It wasn't in the script.
It just fell into.
Well, Mike, we are so excited. We can't wait.
Mr. Postman?
When the
June?
Mr. Postman coming again?
June 9th.
And where is it going to be?
AMC Solon.
And how can we get those tickets?
HeyMrPostman.com.
All right.
All right. Well, I'll be there. I'm going to have me a ringside seat because I'm excited. Can't
Date
wait.
night.
All right. Well, listen, thank you so much for tuning in with What's Going On with Lady D.
And Sir John. And once again, have a wonderful, beautiful rest of the week and a beautiful, blessed Sunday.
Yes. And be kind to one another. All right? And let somebody be able to go vent. To get you a party that you can go vent and talk
Vent
to.
to somebody. I know,
yeah,
right?
Don't hold it all in. It's good for the soul. Speak your mind. Be free. All right.
Not too free.
All right, take us on out of here with some Bob Ivory. Body up. Woo!
You silly.
No, it's silly. Yes. Yes,
You all right?
indeed.
How your stomach feel? You feel okay?
Your tummy was bothering you? Girl, mine was too the last couple of days. I ate some corned beef.
A real man now.
What you doing, man? They told me I had 2 more weeks, man.
How much I owe, man?
$300.
$300? Tell you what, the next job I get, I ain't gonna humble myself for nobody.
I swear before God. You know what? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to use the Lord's name in vain, but I just need a chance.
Let me be the first to welcome you to the Postal Service. You're officially mail carrier.
Now you look like a postman. Okay, all right. All I gotta do now is teach you how to deliver mail. Hey, man, I'm ready, baby.
Hey, Mr. Postman, I like them shorts. You got my mama mail?
Hell no, I ain't got your mama mail. Hey, man, who are y'all, the OMG girls?
You our new mailman?
Yes, indeed, I am, son.
Man, you look stupid.
Ain't the ball slapping no kid, man. You gotta hold me back.
Relax.
You look like a damn hip-hop fool.
Oh, well, thank you for noticing.
Get some respect here. Now I want y'all out of here on time for once.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Damn, rookie.
If you need more dog spray, come see me.
This is Brian Lincoln at your service. Yes. You are so very teddy. I mean, pretty.
Oh, let me properly introduce myself. My name is Mac. I run everything over here.
Okay.
And over there.
All right.
We just gonna say a little prayer right quick. That's all.
Let's turn to the book of Ludicrous.
That's Leviticus.
So long, Mr. Lincoln.
It's 2. 2 strikes now. You got one more game, Mr. Lincoln. One more game.
You got my check?
No, not today, Tyrone. It comes in a couple weeks, buddy.
Okay.
Man, I don't know if I can do this, bro.